You are a go-getter, a leader who wants to make a difference and is on track to making an impact. Did you know that most people give up their New Year's resolutions about this time? Yep, it's not even Valentine's Day yet, and people are already throwing in the towel. They give away their goals and dreams, and now they have no chance at succeeding. I know you're different. If you need an extra boost of accountability, a shift in the way you're going after your goals, and a fresh perspective on how to accomplish more in less time, I have the perfect thing for you. I'm opening up my Leaders Club program for the next 36 hours. It will be available at a discounted price. If you are serious about achieving your goals and accomplishing your dreams this year, then join me on the Leaders Club. I want you to go to reachinghighernow.com/store, scroll all the way down, and click on the Dream Work course. It's going to give you access, and I'll see you there. My name is Jose Vargas, and I am on a mission to help you create breakthroughs in your personal and professional life so that you can grow and lead your life with excellence. Welcome to the Jose Vargas Show. This podcast was created for leaders to help leaders strategize to create breakthroughs so that you can lead yourself and others effectively. I am your host, Jose Vargas. Thank you for listening, and thank you for allowing me to join you in whatever it is that you are doing today. Over the holidays of 2020, we're glad that year is over, right? My wife and I, we had a few special things we wanted to do together. And one thing on that list, and it was her choice, was to watch Is a Wonderful Life. It's a 60-plus-year-old movie, right? Black and white. And I tried to get her to change her mind about it, but she insisted, and we ended up watching it. And to my surprise, I loved it. The main character was a man by the name of George Bailey. And I won't give you the whole story, but just in case you didn't watch it, like me, like the few people who live under a rock, right? The movie portrayed heaven and angels, and one of the major angels assigned the minor angels who needed to earn its wings to Earth to help a man named George Bailey. And they needed to help him because George was experiencing something worse than an accident, worse than a disease, and worse than poverty. George was experiencing discouragement to the point where he planned to take his life. He was trying so hard to be successful, yet somehow he felt small. He felt that what he was doing wasn't working. In this episode, I want to talk to you as a leader. I want to talk to you about the danger of discouragement. As you lead your life and others, you will go through situations and obstacles along the way. You already knew that. You will go through moments when you feel like what you're doing isn't working. Whether that is personally, in your relationships, or in your organization. And this is why I believe that the lead through method that I teach is so powerful, because it helps you reassess and refocus your life and your organization so that it can maximize its potential and impact, so that you can see where you are today. Because sometimes what you feel is not always what's true. And sometimes we tend to lose the progress and the victories that we're actually having in our own lives and impact that we're having in the life of other people. So I want you to look at your life right now. This is actually my first step in the lead through method, called Located. And it is to answer this one question in your own life. Where are you today? Specifically, in this episode, where are you emotionally? Are you secretly discouraged? I've been there. There's no shame in that. I've been there so many times. Being discouraged is definitely no fun, right? And here are some of the reasons why we get discouraged. And I'm going to give you some of the reasons why we get discouraged. I'm going to give you some of the attributes or some of the symptoms that discouragement causes in a leader's life. And then I'm going to give you 4 ways to overcome discouragement in your life if this episode applies to you today. You might not be discouraged. You might be excited. You might be okay. But listen, save this episode for a future event in your life. And I'm not being negative. I'm just being real that we will go through discouraging moments and seasons in our lives. So some of the reasons we get discouraged, the first reason is because we have unfulfilled expectations. This is so critical because as I share with people is that all of life is interconnected. All of life is woven together. Meaning your relationships, friendships, the relationship you have with your spouse, the relationship you have with your children, your finances, your spiritual health, your physical health, your mental health, all of that is interconnected. And when one of those areas is not performing or at a place where you want it to be, you have a sense of unfulfillment inside of you because it's not where you want it to be, which leads you to discouragement. You thought maybe that you should be further in life right now. You thought that you were going to get that promotion at work and yet someone else got the promotion. You thought that by now you would be able to get that gift for your spouse or, whatever it is. The list can go on and on. Recently, I watched a documentary on Netflix, which I highly recommend. It's called Less Is Now by The Minimalist. And it was a powerful documentary that showcased how we as a society, how we as a people love stuff, and how we're finding our identities and we're placing our hope and our identities subconsciously in stuff, in things, in material possessions. And one of the key lessons, I got so many lessons from that documentary. Again, I recommend it. But one of the key lessons that I got from that and that I was reminded of is the key to contentment in life is to really define what success looks like for you. And not allow society, not allow the people around you, not allow what social media is saying to dictate what will make you happy or what makes you feel like you are enough. And so I'm going to talk about that in a moment. But another reason that we get discouraged is that we compare ourselves to others. And this is a big one. Whether you are a male listening to me or a female listening to me, we tend to do this. Especially in this age where social media is so accessible. It's on our phones. We live in it. We thrive in it. We build relationships in it. We build our businesses in it, right? And where your friends and my friends all put up good stuff of life, right? The vacations, the highlights, the parties, the gifts, the church size, the business profits, and the apparent success that they're having. And the reason I say apparent success is because not everything that you see on social media is real in people's lives. There's people who I have coached, and there's people who I know that they're posting things on social media, but their real life is far from what they're posting. And so we are judging our lives based on these things and these apparent successes that other people are having. We compare our social media followings to others. We compare our level of success based on others. We compare our physique to others. And all this comparison is distracting us from what we truly have in front of us. I'm going to pause that and I'm going to say that again. All this comparison is distracting us from what we truly have in front of us. Comparison is hindering you and me from going after all the ideas and the dreams that God has placed in our hearts. And this point piggybacks on the last point, really, of identifying what success will look like for you and your family. And so what I want you to do in a practical way, once this episode is over, maybe you want to pause this episode right here, I want you to write down, what does success look like for me and my family. Maybe sit down with your spouse, or if you're single, sit down right now. What does success look like for you? Not based on what society's saying, not based on what other people have or don't have, not based on what people say you should possess or you should have or don't have, or what you should be or where you should be in life right now, but what you truly want in life. Set aside some time and set the bar on what you want your life to be. Who do you want to become? What do you want to be in your life and as a leader? The next reason why we get discouraged is that we're forcing things to happen out of season. Now, I love this Bible verse. It says that as long as the earth endures, there will always be seed time and harvest time. And I want to give you a little mathematical equation here. Now, I'm not the greatest in math, but seed plus time equals harvest. Did you catch that? Seed plus time equals harvest. And so many times we don't see the results that we want in our lives, in our businesses, in our organization, in our leadership, in our team members, because we don't sow enough seed. And if we do sow the seeds, we want it to bear fruit instantly. We sow in the gym by working out, and we get discouraged because we don't see the results that we want quick enough. We sow seeds of discipline when it comes to handling our money, and yet we get sidetracked because we don't see the financial reward right away. We sit and pray and cultivate our relationship with God, and yet we backslide because we don't get answered prayers right away. But I want to let you know that there is always a germination phase in whatever you are sowing in your life. And so this should get you excited, because if you are sowing seeds, the type of seeds that you want to get a harvest from, understand that the difference or the distance between you getting what you want and the seed is just a matter of time. There is always a time. I'm always leery and weary of people who get instant results and instant success, because it usually doesn't last. There's always a germination phase in every area of your life. So those are some of the reasons we get discouraged. Now, let's look at some of the signs that you may be that may show that you're discouraged, right? Some of the signs. I'm going to give you 4 very quickly. The first sign is that you lost your vision as a leader. You lost your vision for your family. You lost your vision for your finances. You lost your vision for your health. You lost your vision for your organization. You lost your vision for your relationships. The second thing is that you lost enthusiasm. You're no longer excited and enthusiastic about the future possibilities. I remember a mentor of mine once told me, he said, the future is pregnant with possibilities. And I love that outlook on life, because every single morning is a new day to start. Every single day is pregnant with possibilities for your life, for your leadership, for your family. No matter how dark it may seem today, there's always a possibility for a better tomorrow. So one of the signs that you may be discouraged is that you lost your enthusiasm, you lost your vision. The next one is that you lost your passion. You're no longer passionate about the things that used to excite you. You're no longer passionate about what used to make you come alive. And the last sign that you may be discouraged is the loss of inspiration. And now I want to give you the effects that discouragement will have on your life as a leader. And so if you're identifying with this, what I'm saying with you today, I want you to look at this, and I want you to really highlight, and I want you to really locate where you are. And it's part of the lead through method, right? Locate where you are. Are you discouraged? The second step in the lead through method is dissecting it, right? What has led you there? What has led you there? Is it because you've been comparing yourself? Is it because you haven't really waited a time period between when you sowed the seed and when you want to see a harvest. So there's always this time period, right? What is it for you personally? So now I want you to look at the effects of discouragement and what it does in your life personally as a leader. Number one, you isolate yourself when you are discouraged. You begin to isolate from your family. You begin to draw away. You begin to not really attend meetings from your team members. You really don't want to go to church anymore. You really back away from the support systems that once helped you and once supported you. You begin to isolate yourself. And there is nothing more vulnerable than an isolated sheep. Now, I hope you don't get offended by me calling you a sheep, but you get the point. A wolf is always looking for the isolated sheep. Because why? Because there is power in community. There is power in a pact. And so one of the effects of discouragement in a leader's life is that you become to isolate yourself. You begin to isolate yourself. And if you're isolating yourself today, I want to warn you that that could be an effect of discouragement. The second effect of discouragement is that you become paralyzed emotionally and physically as it relates to your goals for life. As it relates to goals for your organization, your family. And guess what? When you're paralyzed, your organization, your family, your team, they won't progress. And if you become paralyzed, you'll pretty soon begin to lose sales. You'll begin to lose membership. You'll begin to lose relationships. Your dreams won't be fulfilled. Your goals won't be accomplished. Because now it is affecting the whole organization, the whole organism of your life. And this is what discouragement does. It begins to shut down areas in your life that were designed to be productive, that were designed to produce life in your life. And so these are some of the things that we're dissecting today, part 2 of the lead through method, right? So begin to dissect in your life what is causing this discouragement and what are some of the effects that this discouragement is having in my own life. The third thing is that it begins to affect your speech. Now there's power of life and death in your tongue. There's power of life and death in your speech. That's why I love speaking. That's why I started this show. Because I want to give you life. I want to give your organization life through my words. I want to give your leadership life through my words. Because as I am encouraging you, I am also being encouraged because there is power of life and death in the tongue. What you say, how you say it, will become your reality. So be careful what you say and how you say it. Because your words matters as a leader. Sometimes I forget this very fact, this very truth, but I'm constantly reminding myself that what I say in my home, what I say to my family, what I say on social media, what I say to my community, it matters. Because words carry weight when you are a leader. And words have power to build you up or to tear you down. So now let's talk about the 4 ways. I want to give you 4 ways to come out of discouragement. Okay. And they all require 2 things. They all require effort and they all require intentionality. Okay. So the first one is that sometimes it's okay to get help. So whether that is to call a friend, a trusted advisor, a mentor, hire a coach, a counselor. There is no shame in doing those things. There is no shame in reaching out to other people who can help you. Another strong leader, another strong person in your life that you can reach out to and say, hey, listen, I'm discouraged. This is what happened. The only time that you suffer in silence is if you're in a police academy in the middle of some torture workouts, like I was in Artesia, New Mexico, We couldn't really yell. We couldn't really moan. We couldn't really groan. We had to suffer in silence, or else we would get more workouts on top of the workouts that we were getting. But in life, you reach out to someone. In life, you reach out for help. Because there are people in your life who want to help you. And again, if you don't have close advisors or friends, hire a counselor, hire a coach, hire a mentor, hire someone who can help you see things a little differently. The next way to overcome discouragement is to encourage someone else. Now, this one is proven. If you are discouraged, helping other people is the last thing that you want to do. I understand that. But it's the one thing that you should do. You will slowly begin to come out of discouragement as you're helping other people. Open a door for someone. Let someone cut in front of you in traffic. Wave at them. Make dinner for your spouse. Call and encourage an old friend. Help someone who may be struggling in an area where you might be strong in, whether that is in business and marketing, whatever it is. If you are discouraged and you help someone else, if you extend your helping hand and you give words of hope, words of life to someone, I'm telling you, you are on your way to being encouraged once again. And this dark cloud that may be over you will be lifted as you begin to encourage other people. And then the last step is speak life. This one I already shared on, but how you talk to yourself is so much more important than how you talk to others. Don't get me wrong, talking to others is critical, but how you speak to yourself. I often find myself correcting this one in my own life because we can be gracious to other people. We can extend grace to other people, but we are our hardest critics. Be kind to yourself. Yes, push yourself. Yes, keep yourself accountable, but also have some grace with the person that you see in the mirror. This last one that I'm going to give you is important. If you're not a person of faith, you can go ahead and skip this one, but for me, this one is critical. Give it to God. Whatever is discouraging you as you're dissecting in your own life, give it to God. Whatever you're discouraged or frustrated about, hand it over to God in prayer. He cares for you and for me. He knows us better than anyone else, and He wants to help us in our times of trouble. And He is willing and capable to help you in your time of trouble. I hope these points help. Listen, it takes time and it takes work, but together we can become a leader worth following. You don't have to remain stuck. You don't have to put up a front, but you can become a leader worth following. You can take actionable, practical steps to get breakthroughs and not just accept your life, but lead your life towards excellence and towards impact. Because isn't that what we want? We want to have impact in this world, and we want to impact the people in our lives. Thank you for joining me today. Would you do me a favor? Would you hit the subscribe button? And would you leave me a review wherever you're listening to this, whether it's on a podcast or whether it is on the YouTube channel? Leave me a review. Tell me how you're enjoying it. Tell me where you're from. I would love to get to know you, and I'll see you soon.